Hi investigators, Mike Evans from the Australian Security Academy, and we're back for another Friday afternoon weekly investigation news. Welcome along, Casey. Great to have you here. How's your week been?
Thanks, Mike. It's been very good, very busy.
Very busy and I'm sure very interesting. What have you got for us after we have the jobs today, Casey?
I was asked by Evan if I could show how to use Multigo for investigators, which is an open source intelligence investigation tool.
Okay, so this is going to formulate part of our private investigation, government investigation and security risk management training program.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, I'll go through the jobs first. And just to remind everybody, we're here with the weekly investigation news for government, corporate and private investigators, where we actually fire real bullets. We do. But sometimes it doesn't work because I'm in control of the console and I end up with all sorts. So be prepared for anything. I can stuff this up and it's going to be left completely to Casey to run the whole show. And I'm sure you're upset about that. So this week's jobs, there are a plethora of jobs in Australia for factual investigators at the moment, people. Quantum Corp, they're after investigators in New South Wales and Victoria, general insurance investigators, liability investigators. Get in touch with Quantum Corp. If you can't remember that and you want to see who they are and their ad again, hit the replay after this program or jump on YouTube tomorrow and you can go and see all the jobs I'm about to present to you at the Australian Private Investigator Corporate and Government Investigation job page on Facebook. So you won't miss it. You don't have to write it down as we go. You can go there tomorrow and see the replay or hit replay after the show today. Sure Factor after investigators in New South Wales and in Victoria. So get in touch with Pat and Paul down at SureFact and they will refer you to the person who can organise all that for you. Send them your resume, copy of your licence at SureFact. They want you to work for them. M&A investigations are chasing investigators in New South Wales, Queensland, ACT and Western Australia. That's factual investigators who go and take statements off people in relation to the accident, the incident, the occurrence that they witnessed for workers' compensation or general insurance. So M&A investigations are a long-established New South Wales investigation firm. Insight Intelligence, that's their logo. That's who to Google, people. They are after factual investigators in New South Wales. So get in touch with Joshua. There's all his contact details. If you're not working as a factual investigator in New South Wales or Victoria, you're missing out. These people have work and you can almost start immediately with most of them. There's some paperwork to do, there's some checking to do, some reference checking, that sort of thing. That might hold it up for a couple of days, but boy, do they need you going out and taking statements for them. Brookside Investigations, that's their website. They are looking for factual investigators in Victoria and in New South Wales. So they're actively recruiting. Here's their ad that they put on LinkedIn. Get in touch with Darren Maynard. He's an industry stalwart, all-round good bloke. Say, Mike Evans sent me Darren, and he's got jobs down there at Brookside for you in general insurance and liability investigations. This is a beauty for you people that like a punt. It's the head of customer integrity. It's a government investigation role. So this one's on our Facebook page. Go there and have a look at it. It's about sports bet integrity and online betting. You're never going to run out of work with that one. This is a new one to me. I haven't heard of them. That doesn't mean a thing, right? They're Vanguard Risk Australia. They're looking for factual investigators in Victoria. It's on our Facebook page, people. Go and have a look. Now, on our Facebook page, if it hasn't got contact details, such as an email or a phone, be a big investigator and Google Vanguard Risk Australia Proprietary Limited, and that contacts will come up on there. So Vanguard are looking for investigators in Victoria. Synergy Workplace Investigations, they're looking for factual investigators in New South Wales. And Quantum Corp just popping up again, just to emphasise that one. So Quantum Corp, they're actively looking for investors. They've got big contracts with Phil and they want to speak to you. If you apply for a job, they're not going to go, oh, you're not experienced, get out of here. They're going to listen to you. Show them what you did in your course. Show them the statements you took in your Australian Security Academy course. They'll give you a hearing, all right? They've got to develop new talent. Don't be frightened of it. Precise Investigations down in in Victoria, looking for factual investigators in Victoria. So get in touch with Tass down there. You'll see his contact details on our Facebook page and the ads there. Kerrigans are looking for factual and surveillance investigators throughout Victoria. They only advertise that Tuesday of this week. So get in touch with Kerrigans in relation to TAC, Transport Accident Commission investigations down there, and WorkSafe investigations in Victoria. Love this one, PayPal. They're after a financial crime compliance manager. You're never going to run out of work with this. So see that on our Facebook page. It's a beauty. And a fraud triage officer is wanted by Ashdown people. Now, they're a recruiting agency and they want to pay you, what do they want to pay you? Something like $3,000 a week. So that was put up on Seek 7 days ago. So again, research that job. This is a beauty. I like this one. AMP, Head of Integrity, Whistleblowing, Privacy and Fraud. So that's at AMP. They're after a person in charge there. So this is where you're going to need a diploma of fraud control. That's going to help you get that job. This goes beyond licensing. At that level, you're going to be managing the licensed people to do the investigations for you, whether they're internals or externals. So that's a great job there with AMP. And our final job for the day, Safe Work Inspector, Investigations and Emergency Response for WorkSafe New South Wales. What a great job. Now, these people require you to have an advanced diploma of workplace inspection. Naturally, because you're going to be going out inspecting for fires, for chemicals, transport of dangerous goods. Our safety on the road, our safety in the workplace, and our safety in industrial areas depends on WorkSafe. Now, do they kick down doors and stop people working and take away their right to earn an income, that sort of thing? No, they don't. They work with the people who are non-compliant to make them compliant. And that's what you'll be doing. People that do that role for WorkSafe, they usually have a degree in something like explosives, which would be great fun to have a degree in. I want one of those. And they might know a little bit about chemicals and that sort of thing, or they're heavy transport people. They're a real variety. I see a lot of successful people come into it from the hospitality industry. If you can imagine all the restaurants with all the kitchens, hot water, hot food, hot oil, that sort of thing, they're always inspecting in relation to accidents with that. So before Casey comes on, that's our jobs for this week. Now, I cannot remind you enough, right? If you want to see all those and more, go to this Facebook page. That's where you go and see it. And that's where you'll have an opportunity to review all those jobs at your leisure. And people, look, there are 3 years of job vacancies there. That doesn't mean that those job vacancies still exist. What it means that you can do your research about investigation agencies or government departments or corporate entities like PayPal and what they've asked for in the past and what may have changed. And you can match your job using words you cut and paste out of that to your application, so you get past their first round of robots and become a real contender with the job because you've got qualifications from the Australian Security Academy. Now, all of those, except the one I didn't know that I've mentioned today, their staff all have qualifications from the Australian Security Academy. We've been doing this for 20 years. I'm very proud of that. Here's Casey with her presentation.
Thanks, Mike. So today kind of goes a little bit on from last week, and for those who missed last week, I was talking about virtual machines and how it's really important to use a virtual machine instead of just using your normal computer to help protect yourself, protect your identity, protect your software, and make sure nothing happens to your computer, because they're very expensive pieces of equipment and you don't want your personal identity revealed when you're online either doing an investigation. So it's very important. And so I'll just show you this. This is my fresh install that I did this morning. I was going to show you how I launch it and everything, but when I do it with the streaming, it goes a bit slow. So that's my VirtualBox manager. So you can just easily download VirtualBox, and I've got a Tracelabs OSINT Kali Linux operating system running on it. And I will show you. I'm going to share my screen and actually walk you through some things, which is, hopefully it works. allow. Now this is my virtual machine, and I've just used the TraceLabs virtual machine. It's free to download from their website. It comes preloaded with a heap of applications. If you go all applications, just so many applications that are preloaded on there to help you with investigations. Eyewitness, exploit. There's a heap of Cali tools. There's, pretty sure, Phronify, Phroninfoga is good. Spiderfoot's amazing. So it has heaps of stuff for you to look at and play in there, and look at what different tools different investigators use. So today I'm talking about Multi-Ego because Evan asked me to do a bit of a review on it. And because I know I've said before that I really like Multi-Ego, but it is not, when doing an OSINT investigation, it's not my first point of call. No OSINT tools is my first point of call. The way I've been trained is to understand how to do it manually, how to do it essentially the hard way, but it's not the hard way because tools come and go, APIs change, internet rules change, so you really have to know how to do things manually when it comes to open source intelligence and looking for things online. But of course there are a plethora of tools at our disposal, and Multi-Ego is one. And I use the free edition, of course, because Multi-Ego, if you actually pay for it, I think it's about $999 US a year, which is okay. But then the transforms that you probably want as well are also another $1,000 on top of that for their subscription for a year. So just using this as the free version, and I use it specifically as a pivot point. So if I'm a little bit stuck in an investigation, or I feel like I've gotten as far as I can go, I always check Multi-Ego and see what it comes up with. So as you can see, there's all different things here, all different data categories that you can look at. You can do blockchain analysis and forensics. There's cybersecurity, deep and dark web, social media, phishing, threat intelligence. So there are a number of different investigators that use this, from police officers and, well, as it says there, threat intelligence, cybercrime investigators, all those types of people. But they would probably be using the paid ones. But I'll show you how to easily have a look at some things when it comes to the free version. So you start up a new graph, and basically the transforms that it's showing there, they're like plugins. They're things that different companies have developed, and they help you with your searches online. So here, I really like it to help me search for domains. Someone had stolen a domain a few months ago, and I was asked to find out who had stolen it. And Multi-Ego actually really helped me here. So I will show you how to search for a domain. I'm basically going to dox us here. If I can get it to work. Here we go. And I'll do Australian Security Academy.edu.au and see what information we can find out about us. So when you download Multi-Ego, straight away you go to the free and tick that and install all of the free transforms, which will help you with your investigation. And so we've got the domain, which is Australian Security Academy.edu.au. And this is, again, a lot of people say that this is a no-no to not run all the transforms. But remember, with me and probably with you with Multi-Ego, it is not your first point of call because you're not using the paid version. So it's basically you're just looking for anything that you can pivot off. You're looking for any association, any username, any email, any password. So I just run all the transforms to see what information it can come up with. So I just have to accept these. And with the domain that was stolen, when I did this, somehow the perpetrator had already associated his own name with the domain, and it came up. And so we knew who it was straight away. And it was actually a lady's ex-boyfriend just trying to get back at her. So he'd hacked her website, taken over the domain, was sending spam emails, and yeah, as soon as the name came up and I sent it through, she was like, oh my goodness, that's my ex-boyfriend. So that was a really good result. And as you can see with the transforms running, it's bringing up a heap of information through just searching the internet for anything to do with the Australian Security Academy. So I'm zooming in, I'll zoom out. So you'll see down here, when you zoom all the way out, you get a little bit of a key. There's person, company, IPv4 addresses, so that's your IP address, location, phone numbers, snapshots, which would most likely be the Wayback Machine. So there's a heap of information that is found on the Australian Security Academy. And I suggest people do this to their own websites and to their own names and their own email addresses to find out what information is out there on the internet about you. Because if there's something there that you don't want, for example, your personal phone number or your address, you can find where it is and you can get rid of it. So let's see what information it's found. Heap of stuff there. Oh, there's a person. Oh gosh, wow. Somehow my name's come up and I'm associated with the Australian Security Academy. Where's Michael Evans? Why isn't he there? You've removed all your information, haven't you?
Sure have. You'll never find me.
So as you can see, it's given us a whole bunch of information that we could look at and dive into if we need to know more about a specific domain or a specific person. It says that the location's in Australia. There's also AustralianSecurityAcademy.com and .com.au, both domains we own. This is a business that's unrelated to us, and I know that, like, thank goodness I don't have to go in there and figure it out. I could just delete that off of the page so it's not interfering with my investigation. Cloudflare, that's great. That's what we use. And so google.com, our emails, I'm literally doxing us here, but our emails, we are hosted with Google, and we have come up in Education Services Australia. There's a heap of information there, which is really great and really good pivot points for any investigation. Now, I'll show you another one quickly, which I always find very interesting, which is email. So I'm going to use an old email that I just grew up using, that was exposed so many times I don't use it anymore, but it's fantastic. It's before I knew anything about internet security. It's a fantastic use case scenario for this. So my old email, and I'm just going to run all transforms on it. I'll just tick these again. Because often we are just given an email address when it comes to investigations. That's happened to me a number of times, and Maltego is definitely somewhere that I check. So you can see that the deliverability is high, it's common, it's been leaked a number of times. It should, the email still exists, so it's still in use. It's bringing up documents that's related to my email address, which is not great. And I have an Adobe account. I'll just zoom out a little bit here. I've been exposed with MyFitnessPal. So MyFitnessPal has obviously been hacked and their user data has been released. And so that's how they've got that information. So MyFitnessPal, Canva is another one, House, 8 tracks, promo, ledger, which is never fun. You don't want anyone knowing that you're in Bitcoin, but it's there. So they're on the internet now for everybody to see. So there's a heap of information here and a heap of pivot points that we can have a look at. And another one that I just, do I have another second to show one more?
Yep.
Cool. Another one which is also really handy, rather than having to download Skype onto your computer and sign up and create an account. This is a fantastic way to see if there is a Skype account related to someone. So you can type in person here. What have I typed in? I just need a person of interest. Come on. And this is a really good way to find usernames to help pivot off of usernames. So we'll have a look at Michael Evans. Now here we'll go into social links and we click on the Skype transform. So it'll bring up any Skype accounts that are related to that name. And as you can see here, it's already got an image. So some people don't have this stuff locked down, which is fantastic. So you can see their name. If I double click on that, he's in Great Britain, in Chirk, he's 37, and this is his alias, so his username, which is something that you can check username databases to see what else he's used that username in. And it's also like he's used his middle name. So now you have his full name. That's a lot of information and really great pivot points. And even if you're just trying to check to make sure that it's someone, it's giving you his age and a picture. It's really fantastic information to go off. So you can click on someone else and they just have they haven't changed their username to anything specific. So that isn't very helpful. But you can see that there is a lot of information that Multi-Ego can help you in the free version and just help you with your pivot points when it comes to your online investigations.
Thank you, Casey. Really appreciate it. That was very good. Just when I take over in 2 seconds, we got someone spamming us with links to porn sites in the comments. So read it before you put them up, please. We'll lose half our audience if those links take people away. Renee just said, well done, excellent, Casey. So read the comments before you put them up, please. Don't get it's pretty bad. Okay, thanks, Casey. That was really excellent, really helpful. Michael Evans is a really, really common name. Mm-hmm. Extremely common name. It's as common as Fred Smith. So it's disappointing for people that are looking for me sometimes. Okay, what's happened this week? Bugger all's happened this week. Everywhere's been locked down. So I had to do a little bit of research to see if there was anything out there on the radar for workers' compensation. This is a beauty. In January, a guy who was just like our person last week, he was a worker on call. He was called out, got in his car, dropped his car keys and hurt his back like you do when you drop your car keys. You bend over to pick them up. And so he's received workers' compensation for that. So that happened in January of this year. The issues around it were, again, he was a contractor like our workers' compensation, well, not a contractor, on-call employee, like our workers' compensation person down in Tulla in Tasmania last week. This one happened over in Adelaide. So that's something that's sort of related to what we've been doing around the place. This is big news of this week. Over on LinkedIn, we've started our Association Investigation Risk and Loss Adjusting Professionals LinkedIn page. What does that mean? That means you can jump on there on LinkedIn, and I'm going to be using that as my predominant LinkedIn page. If you're on any other investigation page currently, you probably might want to think about moving over to that one to keep up with the investigation news that's happening around the place. So next week, when our Executive Vice President, Renee, comes back, we're going to be looking at the post nominals that you'll be able to put on your business card and on your web page in relation to your 5 levels of membership of the Association of Investigation Risk and Loss Adjusting Professionals. So last week, Renee went through those 5 levels, and next week, Renee and I and Casey will be looking at the post-nominals. What's a post-nominal? It will say that you are a member of AIRLAP, and it might say associate member of AIRLAP. It might say life member of AIRLAP, depending on where your contribution and what you've been doing over that time. Now, this is really, really important. It happened to me, and look, it happens. I really want you to think about when you're doing your research for work, you come to this program. That's what you do, okay? You don't go wandering off and go and asking people who haven't got a clue. You don't know that they know what they're talking about. When you're doing your research for work, you go to this Facebook page and you look at jobs and opportunities there. And I only put up 30% of them, and there are abundant roles as investigators. Now, for the second time this year, one of my students was a very nice person, and that's one of her problems. Okay, she's just a little bit too nice. On a recommendation from someone else, went and asked a bloke about opportunities in investigations because he was a licensed investigator in Sydney, and she thought she could listen to him. And he gave her a whole lot of crap about she's not going to make it because she's not an ex-police officer. Right? And this guy is about as successful as my football team, which aren't going to make the finals this year in investigations. He's just a no-hoper. And he told her that. All right. Now, I really want you to get this through your head, except for the spelling mistake that I put in it. You must practice your elevator pitch, and your self-talk must be success, opportunity, and moving forward. Two of those ads that I put up today, in the advertisement, it says you must have a positive attitude. Now, they're going to pick up on your positive attitude straight away if you've got it. Okay? If you haven't got it, and you don't come across as being positive and you're negative about entering the industry, they're not going to want to know you, because that's going to be a sign that you're going to be high maintenance and trouble. So you must practice your elevator pitch. So let's go through it. Always risky when I've got to share a screen. Here we go. So your elevator pitch will make you or exclude you in the investigation industry. So today we've got Dick and Dora who are going to go through the elevator pitch for you. So they're going up the elevator, and Dick's private investigator elevator pitch is this: only ex-police like me can become successful private investigators. That has bullshit impact. It's untrue. It's misleading. Dora's private investigator elevator pitch is I'm in the answers business. It's high impact, it's true, it's direct, it's concise, and Dora is correct. You are in the answers business as an investigator. That is what you are going to be doing. You don't listen to dicks, okay? That's really, really important. So when you apply for work and they say, tell me about yourself, the first thing you're going to say is, I'm enthusiastic, I'm not high maintenance, and I'm in the answer business. So the lesson in this, straight from the Buddha himself, people, as an emerging investigator, don't listen to dicks, okay? Because if you do, it's going to come across, oh, negative, there's no opportunities. You just saw we put up 15 advertisements for investigation positions vacant, from entry level to advanced diploma level. There is an abundance of opportunities out there, and you do not want your self-talk to destroy you before you even get out there and do your first one. So it's really important, people, that you don't listen to dicks. You just say to everybody, I'm in the answers business. You don't say I'm a private investigator, because they'll say straight away to you, oh yes, my second cousin's best friend is cheating on them and I need someone to do surveillance for $1 an hour. You stay out of that, okay? Very important. All right. As Buddha just told you, don't listen to dicks. I'm sure I'll be paying some karma for that in the future, but I just had to get it off my chest. This is important as part of our, Casey just went through the OSINT points there. We've got 3 comments, I think, Casey. Check them before you put them up. Casey just went through the OSINT technique there. In Victoria, the Victorian Police Licensing Regulation Authority, g'day Jamie, good to see you mate, wants you to know two things in relation to your study that are over and above everything else. The first one is they want you to know and be aware of the Equal Opportunity Act in Victoria. They only want you to know about the Victorian Equal Opportunity Act. So this is part of your training, if you're in Victoria, that you must know about sexual harassment, racial discrimination and stuff like that, and access the Act and be aware of it. So the Australian Security Academy, approved teacher, licensed private investigator for Victoria, Mike Evans, has just told you that. So that's really important. Can't say you haven't been told. Now, the other thing they want you to know is the Crimes Act 1958 version, the latest version, which I can't read because it's too small, on the 21st of March 2021. They want you to know that. And in particular, they want you to know about arresting people. Now, think about that. Under what circumstances are you ever going to arrest anybody as a licensed private investigator? If anyone ever asks you to arrest someone, pick up the phone and call the police. The police will come around and efficiently and effectively and safely arrest that person. Don't you do it. People carry knives, people carry guns, people conceal offensive weapons, people have needles. You don't arrest anybody. You be aware of the Crimes Act, okay, and what the powers of arrest are, but you're an investigator, not a security guard. I have to tell you about the Crimes Act and make you aware of it. That's my commitment to the LRD in Victoria, and they made me do it. I have just told you that. This is part of our training program, and I'm also telling you, never arrest anybody. Don't even try it as a citizen's arrest if someone's not wearing their face mask. Don't go and arrest them for that, all right? You might get a horrible disease, so that's really important. Let's see, what else have I got here? Done that. I've done AIRLAP. Renee will be in next week. Casey will be in next week for AIRLAP. Done all our jobs. We 3 minutes 42 seconds over time. Check my comments. Jamie said hello.
Yeah. Just if anybody wants to know any more about virtual machines or anything, reach out. I've had some students reach out to me on LinkedIn in the past week, which is a fantastic place to contact me because I'm very active on LinkedIn. So if you ever want to say hi or just make a new contact in the industry, absolutely send me a request and say hi. So.
Absolutely brilliant offer, Casey. Thank you very much. People, that is our program for this week. I think it's the 6th of August 2021. I don't know, I've been that busy. A little bit of an insight for you. 21 people graduated from the Australian Security Academy this week across 19 different qualifications. One of them was in London in England. Another one was in Seoul in South Korea. Quite a few of them were in Melbourne, Victoria, and several of them were in Sydney and Tasmania, Western Australia and South Australia. We have an NT one that's going to graduate next week. I told you we had over 800 students studying with us this week. If you think we're busy, yes, we are. Pat Flynn and I have given feedback on 250 separate assessments this week. We are very busy and we are enjoying every minute of it. Pat's just saying how much he loves it and he's really enjoying it. So people, come on, let's get qualified. Get those assessments into us. If you're in lockdown, now's the time to do it. People are really taking advantage of it. If your footy team's losing and are not going to make the finals, don't watch that. Do your assessments. Pat and I are looking forward to marking it. Thanks, Casey. We will see you next week. Everybody, we're going out in the usual way. If I can find it, here we go.
작전 종료. 전원 복귀할 것.
Yes, that's how every investigation agency in Australia ends their week, with mission complete, all units return to base. That's another week of firing real bullets, and sometimes during that I got Fruit Loops. But we'll be back next week. Looking forward to seeing you there. Have fun, people. Enjoy being an investigator. We love it. See you then. Bye.